All right, everyone. Welcome back to Tradeify Crypto live session. Let's get straight into it. And we got some regular viewers on YouTube chat, and the market gave us a clear story. We spent time ranging, building up liquidity, and then we got the expansion to the upside. The move wasn't random, and today we are going to break down exactly how and what happened. Now, the real question is, what was that just a liquidity grab, or we are setting up for continuation, which we'll see right now? So stay logged in. Let's get into charts and understand what market really telling us. So yesterday we had really nice move after the live stream, and 4 p.m. candle just randomly pumped up, but it was not random because of some news we got. And let's talk about Doge as well first before we move forward. And I actually took a long after we broke above the supply zone of 4 hour, which this wicks, and we had a really nice continuation, and price is taking rest near the supply zone. But the fun fact is that we have value area high of some other day on our MMT charts. Let me show you guys, and I'll always like to align my key levels with order flow. And it's really funny that every time I get some areas which is connected with candles, and you can see this value area high of Saturday 18 April, and I usually don't always look all the value area highs because it's really hectic to watch all key levels at the same time and decide a key level. But I always look for candles first and then decide which direction we are moving. So today we really moved well during Asia session in London. So what we have on higher time frame, let's go on to daily time frame, and I have marked the supply zone. And actually this zone can give us some rest and give us some good retrace back into this very high volume area which has many imbalances. So I think that above 78 651 price can give us some pullback. And also we have resistance of daily time frame on Ethereum, which is at 2419. Now the thing is, we are actually very close to that area, and let us know in the chat at did you guys manage to take longs in this market? Because I was shorting Ethereum yesterday and managed to cut off my trade with 200 loss. And I actually covered it back in Doge because I like to trade Doge. It has very simple price action, and we can easily not ready at all since they never even pick me for giveaways. Don't worry, Crick Bolly Buzz. We will have Jonathan soon with us, and he'll be doing a giveaway for you guys. So stick around, and yeah, we'll have a giveaway every day on our live stream. So you can still win an account. Okay, be positive. So right now, what we have on 4 hour is just now after we get pumped up 4 straight candles, bull candles. What I usually see is that we usually get very low volume, and price might take a good pullback after tapping this area. So I'm just waiting for a nice pullback into this range, tapping near previous week value area high, and can take us much higher and the higher time frame supply zone. And one more thing is that if we look at daily chart, oh my bad, if we look at monthly chart, we have this monthly open which can act as supply zone. Also a zone can give us a nice pullback. The thing is, it is aligned with the daily wicks we have here. So I'm watching closely this area. Today I took a stop loss, and I'm currently in 2 trades with stop at break even. It happens, Yomir. We have a lot of opportunity coming up. So Yeah, you can also you guys can also share your questions if you have any. Hello PSYOP. I mean, you guys have really unique names in chat. It's sometimes really hard to pronounce. So what we have on Doge, and I actually shared my view of Doge on Discord, if you guys have seen, and marked the same supply zone here. Now, uh, before we get Boris, Anastasia, and Jonathan with us, would you guys like to learn about how to mark supply and demand zone? And if you guys will say yes in chat, then I'll go in deep and break down how I actually mark supply demand zones. Yes. Okay. So for me, a supply and demand zone is nothing, just wicks of higher time frame. So my favorite time frame to take mark supply and demand zone is 4 hour. So if I keep it simple, let's say we have one candle. My bad. Let me just turn this off. Just a candle, just a bare candle with wicks, with a wick. And now what I usually do is take a very closer look at wicks. So I will mark this wick as a supply zone, and let me change the color of it. So this can act as a supply zone for me, and bottom wick can act as support. Now, before we move further, let me clarify that this is something which I have seen really works well on crypto markets, and it's very mechanical. And if you combine this with Ethereum and Bitcoin correlation, it can actually save a lot of your trades by getting break even or stop out. And let's go straight into charts, and let me show you guys some practical examples which we had in past. I think I have to turn off all my indicators. It's looking really messy right now. Okay. So as you can see that I have marked this Monday, 20 April, 8 a.m. wick as a support level, and we have same support level on Ethereum. Now, what this indicates that to go below, what we have to do is disrespect this support zone in order to go lower. But what we saw on chart is candles were actually taking support over this value area low of current weekly candle. And if you guys don't know how to apply the volume profile of weekly, you just have to go on 4 hour time frame and look for the Sunday opening of 8 p.m. Take this tool. Let me show you guys where you can find it on TradingView. Actually, when I have to find it, okay. So if you go on this position sized section, you will find fixed range volume profile, where you can actually get point of control value area high and low of all the pairs. And it's really easy to apply. You just have to look for the opening of Sunday and drag it to the current candle, and it will show you value area high, low, and point of control, where most amount of auction happens. So I treat point of control as a supply demand zone. And if we broke above with high volume, with high bull volume, then I go look for longs. Plus I also use my indicator, where if I usually, and I've seen that if market is above daily open, it's really easy to go long. And if we are below daily open, it's very easy to go shorts, right? So let me, and I'm an intraday trader and usually trade on 5 minute. And on Doge, I usually trade, my best time frame to trade is 5 minute, but you actually can't do that on Bitcoin and Ethereum because prices are really high, and on Doge we have really less prices, and we can actually scalp on lower time frame. All right, and let me show you guys yesterday trade which was actually possible on Doge. Let me do bar replay and explain you guys how I took a very small short scalp. Now, what I just said that I treat wicks of 4-hour as supply and demand zones, and you guys might be asking that if we had a wick and why you were selling this. So what I do is first of all, what I'll do is mark the wick and let the market tax commission is so high. You are talking about gold because we have the prices are actually at 4,000 and something, and it is equivalent to Ethereum, I guess. That is why. But if you trade on, medium time frame, let's say on 15-minute, you barely notice the commissions. But if you are a scalper, I would suggest, thanks for this lesson. I'm not actually done yet. We still have some topic left. Okay, but I was on 4-hour. Maybe I clicked on different. Okay. Now, what I would look for is that market. Okay, we have Boris with us. He'll be joining us and share his view if he's looking for any swing trades or not, right? So what I would see here is that if I want to take a buy here, what I want to see is market actually respecting this support zone, but instead it started disrespecting, and best time frame to watch it happening is on 15-minute. Let me turn on the indicator I have, which is okay. I think in bar replay we have some glitch and it is not going to work. But what I usually see is that if we have to fight the wicks, I always look for market to close below this wicks, at least this candle, and we can actually look for sell. And this is something I always do on 4-hour and aligned it with 15-minute. And if I have to take a scalp, and then I usually trade 5-minute, right? And I do same on weekly time frame. So if you are a swing trader, you should always look for weekly time frame wicks. For example, you guys can see a lot of wicks here, and market is actually tapping the zone the week of this candle of March 26 and actually taking support and going higher, right? Right now, I know it looks really bad on Doge, but I'm expecting that it will fall after taking the previous week high. And yeah, welcome Boris to live stream. And I'm sorry that I was explaining something to our viewers. And we also have Anastasiia with us.
Yeah. How are you guys? How are you guys doing?
So yeah, Boris, what you are looking at right now? Are you in any position?
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, I took a Bitcoin long when I woke up this morning. I guess maybe there was some positive news about whatever's happening in the Middle East, but yeah, I saw the daily candle above 77,720. So I actually didn't wait for the daily close. I took an entry right around 78K. Right now we're at 78.4. I'm looking for targets basically up to say 80,500, and then basically targeting this area from I guess January, December. Yeah. So yeah, I'm in a Bitcoin long. It's my only position I've opened up so far today. And also looking at AgriTrade, we're getting some very positive order flow, lots of big buy orders coming in, unlike the past few days. So definitely looks like there's some more volatility to the upside. So I'm sure I'm long on Bitcoin. I think we're gonna get this breakout, and yeah, kind of that's what I'm feeling. And what about you guys? Bullish or bearish on BTC?
Hey guys, well, good to see you. Well, personally, I was looking at some other tokens, actually, which is quite rare. One of those was Asteroid, and another one, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Flork. So they made like quite a big move in the last couple of days. And it seems like because of the uncertainty with the hormones, because we are kind of waiting for what is going to happen today, right? Because today is the deadline from the ceasefire between US and Iran. However, yesterday's Trump standalone decided that he's going to extend this ceasefire because until the Iran comes up with some kind of proposition. Now, Iran, however, didn't really agree on this, right? And US, in the meantime, continued with a blockage of Hormuz Strait. So essentially, we can wait. We can expect any single moment to get an attack from Iran on the Middle East again, because there is nothing standing at the current moment in between their attack and them and an attack in the Middle East. Because the agreement is over, the deadline is over. They did not communicate with the Trump. Trump decided himself that he is going to extend the ceasefire, and was no agreement reached. So we can expect, and we should be ready for the expansion of the war. However, because of this uncertainty, feels like we are having some local alt season, surprisingly, right? Because of the Trump's communication that we are getting some kind of extension of the ceasefire and hopes. So there was a local kind of alt season and bullish period of time, including Bitcoin from yesterday, including Asteroid, for example, which made several X, including Floric. I'm gonna switch to Floric. 1 second, Floric, here we go. Which also had quite a big jump. Those are tokens. But the reason I'm looking into this is because if those are already pumping, and this is a very high risk asset, it means there is some kind of positivity to a certain degree in the market because of the ceasefire, because of the hope that it's going to be extended and agreement will be reached. And due to this also, we can see the same reaction on the Bitcoin. So we can see the Bitcoin extending the highs from the 18th of April. So the high is 17th basically, and the 18th was somewhere here. So we are getting high over this. And besides this, if you look at the US stock market, we can see exactly the same thing. So the stock market is trying to extend the highs as well. So we are kind of all the way on the all-time highs almost again. So I am quite bullish on the Bitcoin. I don't necessarily expect it for long term. We talked about it yesterday that I was quite bearish. I had a bearish position. I did close on break-even back. And now we are extending towards the end of the channel. Now, one of the other zones that we got the reaction from this zone. Now the price is trying to break it. And another zone for me is right here, which is on top of the channel, but also the value area high of this small consolidation from, well, small or not small, right? From the beginning of February to the end of January, and the level 78,775. So I am bullish until 78,800, 79,000 for Bitcoin. And then I would be very careful with what comes next, because it also can be a short squeeze. So there was a lot of people in shorts. And as we know, when there is a majority of people shorting, we are getting their opposite direction before potential reversal. So I would be very careful with this, because it still might be a short squeeze, especially taking into account that we can get the news from Hormuz and from Trump any single second, right? Not even any single minute, but any single second. If he decides to post something and he decides to extend, or Iran decides to attack, because why not, right? They actually can right now. So what do you guys think? Are you bullish or bearish today?
I mean, we're bullish on both pairs and just waiting for the supply zone to get invalidated to go higher. But yeah, overall, I think it's gonna cross the supply zone really with a very good volume. But I also have our high time frame supply zone at 438, so I think we can go till there very easily. Just need some retrace, and it can go easily higher.
Yeah, I think as long as the daily candle closes above 77,000, Yeah, I'll be looking for continuation to 80K and above on Bitcoin.
So this red zone that you have marked up, this is a zone that you're expecting the next reversal from?
Not really a reversal, but we can, get a pullback from there because it
Okay.
has some daily wicks on that area on left. Because I've usually seen that market really reacts well near the wick sum of some candles. So that's why I'm watching closely there. And I have closed the Doge long, which I was in morning. So from here it was, and I actually covered the 200 loss I took yesterday on Ethereum.
Yeah, I have the same area for the reversal.
Yeah. So this was a trade I was in. And because of this 4-hour supply zone, we are taking a rest over here. But still, I think it can go more higher on Doge.
There was a comment in the chat and asking, I think it's to you and me mainly, but Boris, perhaps you as well. I'm not sure if you are using the order flow, but which platform are you using? So are you using any specific order flow platform besides TradingView?
I'm using MMT, which is really easy to access. So if you guys are, looking for something which is very quick to install and very beginner friendly, I would say website, I would suggest MMT. And if you're someone who's ready to go all in order flow, I think Anastasiia has good platform. I think she is using Sarah charts, I feel.
No, absolutely no. I don't use Sarah charts. I've actually been with Atas. I've actually been with Atas platform for 7 years at the moment. And I've tried many different platforms and I'm never switching to anything else. I'm just launching it at the moment and I'm going to share it with you. 1 second. But I'm not switching to any other platform concerning this. So this is basically how it looks. Now it was for years quite difficult to access with Mac, and I'm a Mac user. So for years I was trading through Parallels. But now there is an Atas X version released, which is Mac compatible and much more user friendly too. So I'm sticking to this, and this is how it looks, right? So the volumes and that's my setup. Of course, it can be quite different for different people, right? Depending on what you use. But this is basically my order flow system that I'm using for multiple different assets. So that's how I trade. I would say that if you are just starting with volumes, even the trading queue is enough. But if you want to go deeper into volumes and order flow, you do need something much more reliable than trading queue, because on trading queue, the volumes are not represented 100% correctly. So if you need the precision more than just overall understanding of what volume trading is and, and how to trade volume zones and some basic concepts, you need something that is going to be reliable and provide you with correct data. And TradingView order flow, like footprint charts, I wouldn't even spend neither your time or money trying to access this, because I did when they released it. I was like, wow, maybe it's something super good, but I've spent the money. It's quite a high subscription for them. And these footprint charts are horrible. They are unfunctioning. Like they released it, I think, based on the hype, because everyone wanted order flow, but it's absolutely not working. So please don't spend your money on that.
And Anastasiia, what exchange you are getting data from?
I'm actually from CMEs, because I trade mostly CME, and I trade Bitcoin and Ethereum through the CME futures as well, because they did released the institutional version before. And if it comes to crypto, other ones, Binance.
Okay.
So for the standard world assets, it's CME, BTC, and Ethereum. Also, I check volumes on CME actually. And then on top of this, Binance exchange. And you?
I'm only using Binance because we also have very good feature on this platform, which we can aggregate a lot of exchanges here. But I feel it is going to get really confusing if I'm trying to gather data from every single exchange and I'll get mixed data. So I think it's gonna ruin my setup. So I'm mainly using one exchange. As an intraday trader, I don't think so. We need a lot of data for scalps. So yeah.
It depends, I think, how deep you
For
want
myself,
to go. Yeah, Boris, go on.
Yeah. I was gonna say for myself, like I don't really use order flow for my trading, but I really like this tool, which you guys are aware of, AgriTrade. So basically aggregates all big orders from all the leveraged futures exchanges. I don't think it includes orders from CME, unfortunately. Maybe they should add that because that would be interesting. But it adds up all the orders from like Binance and Bybit and but all the top leveraged Bitcoin futures exchanges, and it's like cool to look at it visually. So that's what I would use if I were to trade order flow. But I'm more of a swing trader, so this is just more of a fun thing for me to look at and kind of get a feel for what the market is doing in the short term.
You also use the heat map. I have seen in previous streams that there is a chart with a yellow and green color, which is really difficult for me to read because I have never used it.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you bring that up because I was just looking at this and so there's like heat maps. There's also liquidation maps. So depending on how you want to view it, right now we're looking at the Binance liquidation map. Let me see if I can switch it to an aggregated view. So what's concerning here for me is that there's a lot of potential cumulative long liquidation leverage. So it looks like a lot of longs piled into the market once we got that break earlier today. So what this is saying is, let's say price goes back to like 70,000, we're going to be looking at total long liquidations of close to actually over 2.5 billion, while for shorts, price can go all the way to 86,000, and there's only going to be 1.2 billion in short liquidation. So it looks like the max pain, if price were to go down here, would be for the long leverage trader. So, this doesn't necessarily like cancel my bullishness on Bitcoin, but it is something concerning that I just saw like five minutes ago. So I would just keep an eye on this. If price starts like falling below 77,000, I'd probably start to get a bit concerned about my Bitcoin long. I actually put a high amount of risk on it. I put 5% risk instead of my usual 1 to 2%. So yeah, one thing to be aware of if you guys are currently long on Bitcoin. But if you're short bias, maybe this tool will act or this data will be on your side or in your favor.
I can see that there is
Are
an
you guys
option
looking
to
at
change the time frame.
Oh yeah, you can change.
It was on daily
Let me go
time frame,
back
so
to
it's good for swing traders, I guess. And can we switch?
Yeah, you can
it to
change it
lower
like even
time frames?
7 day. No, so 1
So it
day
does
is
not
the
have below 1 day.
least.
Okay.
No, yeah, so this is like purely for swing traders. You can even go all the way to like a year, which I'm curious what this looks like. Yeah, I don't think the yearly data. Okay, so let's say if price goes below 60,000, there's going to be 13 billion in long liquidations, and price can go to like 88,000, and only 5 billion. There will be 5 billion in short liquidations. Yeah, so it looks like the market is stacked towards the long side, or leveraged towards the long side, because I guess a lot of people, me included actually, are thinking 60K was the bottom, but I also know a lot of traders, I think even you guys think Bitcoin might go lower to like 50 or 40K. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. Can we look over the bubbles chart, which you always use? I think it will be full of green bubbles today.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Let's see. Yeah. So pretty much everything is in the green. Not by much, like 3 to 5%, which is pretty standard bullish day for crypto. Yeah, like we see, trying to see what stands out here. Pepe is up 3%. Trump coin is up 4%. That's interesting. Bitcoin Cash up 4%. And Ethereum. How's Ethereum doing today? I wanted to take a look at ETH. And actually get your thoughts on ETH, guys. What are we thinking here? Because it's at resistance. I'm actually thinking maybe this could be a short. Maybe I'm looking at a pair trade, maybe long Bitcoin. Yeah, long Bitcoin, go short on ETH because ETH has been acting weaker in comparison to Bitcoin recently.
But for Ethereum to go lower, we also need Bitcoin to do the same.
Yeah, they're correlated, so it's almost like S&P and Nasdaq, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be hard. Yeah, if Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum will go up probably as well, just not as strongly.
And Anastasiia, we would love to see your yesterday trade of gold on PaxG, which went really nice.
This one? Wait 1 second. It's a different screen share. It did go quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
Can't complain. In a matter of fact, I am actually thinking about selling it one more time again right now. Because there's trying to pull back from the same zone again, more or less. So it's not exactly the same zone, but we did try to come back. We had a V-shaped recovery. So we talked about this yesterday, right? We had a beautiful short, like it was nothing else here. We reached exactly this level and squeezed even lower. We did not reach another targets of mine. So my next targets for gold short in general are the previous lows here. So these lows, and even further lows. It's going to depend a lot on the situation with hormones again between Iran and US. And I think the market is quite waiting for this too. At the moment, what we see is that we had a V-shaped recovery. The price tried to approach the previous levels. We approached the break of structure from the previous zone. And now we had a very similar situation to yesterday where the price created a high, reaction from another side, lower high, and now daily point of control, and we are trying to go lower. So this is the daily point of control right now. This one today, this is specifically on PAX. If we look at this, and now for gold is very much the same. So this is the same point of control from today, same location. So I like the volume distribution on those two. So this is the daily. Well, that's a wrong language. 1 second. That's a daily point of control from today. We had a reaction. We had a beautifully rejected zone from one daily point of control to the previous highs. We have reaction from both sides. So I'm thinking to go short one more time from approximately here, this, and then at least the previous target from yesterday, which is already 1 to 2 risk to reward on this one, depending on the entry. I'm planning to actually get in the trade at the moment right now. And then maybe even lower towards the previous lows, which would give me a 1 to 5.5 risk to reward on this if it goes well. So that is my current plan for PAX. What do you think about this?
I mean,
are you trading it today?
I mean, I'm done trading Doge today. I was in longs, and I think I'm actually going to watch what happens next. Just waiting for a good pullback, and again going to long this thing because we have both are major pairs in uptrend. But the thing is that if we tap, and always I have seen that if market taps any wick zone of higher time frame, we get little reaction on both pairs. So I think that can also affect Doge. So I have closed the long position, or I had the plan to hold it till 0.102 thousand, but I closed it near the supply zones, and you guys can see that it's giving some reactions, and also we are moving slower to the supply zone, or maybe we can say a pullback zone on Ethereum as well, and also on Bitcoin. And we all know that when we get a very nice expansion in morning or maybe in Asia, we usually see very slow NY session, which is what I have seen in NQ and as for many years. So I usually go slow when we have good expansion in Asia, and try to risk small or lower on during NY session. Yesterday we had quietly the opposite. We actually had to risk the real percentage we do, and we can see it gave a really good reaction from these areas and value area low of previous wick, and also the current weekly volume profile on Ethereum. So I'm just waiting for a new opportunity on Doge to go longs, and I feel my next target will be 0.99472. Only an intraday trade. I'm not gonna hold it for at least more than a day. But yeah, the long I took was actually out of my session. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are looking at the gold versus Bitcoin ratio, but I find it quite interesting. Just noticed this. So actually, if you're bullish on Bitcoin and bearish on gold, this could be an interesting trade, because basically this is showing gold versus Bitcoin, and we can see that gold is starting to lose value against Bitcoin. And actually, if we use like some technical analysis on this and break this level, then Bitcoin could go up against gold by like maybe even 13% if we lose this level on the Zhao Bitcoin ratio. This is kind of like, a very niche kind of pair to look at. So this is comparing gold versus Bitcoin.
Do you always look at this correlation chart? Because I've never actually looked at it, but it is interesting to see.
I usually just look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin, or whatever, Solana versus Bitcoin. But yeah, for some reason this was on my watch list, and I did give it a look, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So maybe we're seeing some capital rotation from gold into Bitcoin right now, because I think gold is pretty much topped out higher time frames. Like I think 5,000. This looks like a distribution pattern for me. I could be wrong, but we had a large sell-off in Bitcoin. In gold, obviously, a couple of months ago. We fell by like 26%. So I think it would kind of make sense for capital to rotate from gold and back into maybe more risk-on assets like Bitcoin and Ether, and maybe even Doge.
Interesting. Never had a look at this.
Yeah.
How is it? How do you find it on TradingView? Or it's not on Trader though?
Yeah. Actually, what you can do is so you can pull up the. Let's for example, take PAX G.
Yeah.
Let me just find it on my chart. And then what you can do is for symbols, go to you type in PAX G and you type in /Bitcoin.
Okay.
And then that'll give you, so it'll basically compare gold or PAX against Bitcoin. Let's see. Yeah, so it's like a similar kind of chart from what I just showed you. Or you could also just type in like XAU BTC. And yeah, that'll give you the gold Bitcoin ratio from ICE, which is big commodities platform or broker.
Well, thanks a lot. I didn't know that you can type a ratio. Actually, I haven't worked with TradingView for a while.
Yeah.
You can actually do this with a lot of assets. Yes, you can even do it with, like, let's say Solana. You can compare Solana against really anything. Like, maybe let's do a fun experiment: Solana versus Apple. And I'm guessing Apple is way overperformed. Yeah, so Solana is doing very bad against Apple. So you can literally compare like an asset against any other asset with this. I guess it's kind of like a hack or a trick. So yeah, something to keep in mind for your trading tool kit or arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And talking about since we're talking correlations, right? Do you use a correlation between the overall supply, not supply, but oh my goodness, how it's called? I'm missing the word. Capitalization of the crypto market or capitalization of this specific coin or token to the price? Like, do you look at the capitalization and the money? Like, I know you look at the outflows and inflows of the money, right? But the total capitalization, for example, do you consider this when you make a decision?
No, I just look at how it's performing on a percentage basis versus Bitcoin. But that's actually that could be a good filtering method as well. Because obviously, like a low cap altcoin is going to perform either much better or much worse. So maybe adding like a market cap filter would be a good idea. But usually what I do is, let's say I want to see how Doge is doing versus Bitcoin, I'll just type in Doge BTC into TradingView. And then I don't know why it's not loading. But yeah, usually you just type in, let me try different, like ETHBTC. For some reason it's not loading right now, but actually on like Binance and stuff, you can actually trade these pairs. So you can actually trade on leverage, like Ethereum versus Bitcoin or Doge versus Bitcoin. I personally don't do that because it's just it's too complicated, and the liquidity is not that good with with those kind of pair trades.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of people in general when I was studying crypto, basically, essentially. So I was looking at people checking the overall capitalization before, especially when going, for example, longs, and checking for the overall long-term reversals, in the price, both for long and for short, because the capitalization shows the interest also to a certain degree, and the trust of people in the market overall, if you take Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, but also in the specific like high risk assets, so it was quite interesting.
Yeah, and usually what I do also at the end of the day is like I scan through my list of coins, and then, like, for example, Bitcoin is up 2.5%. So let's say I want to take a long on an altcoin, and if I see that the altcoin is only up 1.5%, that means it's performing weaker than Bitcoin. So that for me is like an automatic filter to look for something stronger than Bitcoin. So that's it's like a two-step process for me. And I guess you can also do that if you're trading stocks as well. Like if the Nasdaq is performing better than, I don't know, some tech stock like Apple, then it probably makes more sense to go long on the overall Nasdaq index rather than like Apple or, you know, a weaker stock.
Yeah.
So I think it can apply to all kinds of markets, not just crypto.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the logic behind it can be applicable basically to any kind of market too. So I think it's interesting to take in the account.
Is there anything else you guys are looking at?
I mean, I was actually looking at gold after Anastasiia mentioned that it is good for shorts. And you know what I can see here is that we got a reaction from the monthly open as a support zone, and currently we can see the daily open and the monthly open is reacting as a very strong supply zone. So I think it's good to go shorts below this opening and we can fill this wick. So we need a really good bear candle here to go short. So I'll be also selling this if we go below that line. And also in YouTube chat, MedX Web 3 asking where's Jonatan. He'll be joining us soon. And if you're asking about your account, I think you should have gotten the email already.
Yeah, if you have the same email as the one that was connected to Tradeify Crypto, if you have the same email on YouTube, then your account was set up and sent to your email as well with the details of that.
Pink Error is saying that maybe he's now a star as he's stated in yesterday's stream. Yeah, he is. Maybe he is having fun with the RC car.
Oh yeah, maybe. So is that what Jonathan is doing? Playing with? Maybe he got rich from his his new YouTube channel, and decided to leave. I don't know.
He got successful in another business, so you know, just by accident, just like this, overnight. You know how you hear the stories about the overnight success?
Yeah.
We have one right here. How much he said? 40,000 views?
What, 40,000 views? Yeah.
Yeah, 40,000.
Not bad. Are you in any positions at the moment, guys?
No.
No?
So yeah, like I said, I'm in my Bitcoin long, and yeah, unfortunately, I'm in the PAX long. Like it was literally like $3 away from stopping me out, but I really don't want to hold onto it. But you know, since it already came like so close to stopping me out, I'm just gonna hold it and pray that PAX, where is PAX? Palladium. I'm gonna pray that PAX can recover from here, although I'm definitely not bullish on it anymore. Like it broke structure, and just looking at my overall system, yeah, it's below the 21 EMA now, so it's a break of trend structure. So I'll see. I'll give it a few hours. I might just exit this early and, you know, cover my losses and hope that my Bitcoin long works out instead.
I'm only holding short on PAX at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, so you're still short on it from yesterday?
No, I just re-entered. I closed yesterday's one.
Okay, right.
And I re-entered when I was covering it just a couple of minutes ago. So I was saying that I'm going to be probably short on PAX again. And at the moment when I was saying this, I did enter short. So it's in profit right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at potentially buying Bitcoin alongside with, on my futures account, buying S&P 500. However, I'm waiting for the market opening in 40 minutes from now. because we are pulling back both for the stock market, as you can see, towards the weekly point of control. If we have a look at the volume distribution over this whole movement, we are quite like at the volume, but not exactly. So, right, I would like to see the point of control, for example, being there, but it's the whole area here from which we can potentially move higher. And for Bitcoin, it's very similar. So if we look for Bitcoin and we look for the volume distribution over this whole movement, we're going to see exactly the same thing. So the point of control is in the middle of this range. We tested the value area high. I think we're going to go lower. Now the question is, are we going to hold this level? Because if yes, then from here, I would be expecting it to hit 78.8, 79K. But for this, I'm going to be waiting for the market opening and see if the price will be going a little lower. Technically, I could, based on my system, also take a scalp right now for Bitcoin, even a little bit earlier than right now. But the risk to reward is going to be already very bad. So I missed out on this because it's going to be like 1-to-1 risk to reward. Exactly, maybe a little bit more, but the entry was here. And then, yeah, sure, it would be 1-to-3 as a scalp, and at the moment right now, I'm going to wait for the market opening because we are too close to this now. So I'm going to only hold PAX, so digital as gold short, I think. What do we have in the chat? How are you guys in the chat doing? What are you trading? Let us know. Are you trading anything today? Are you trading Bitcoin? Are you trading Ethereum? Are you in any positions? Did anyone take this PAX short that we talked about yesterday on the live stream?
I hope nobody took my PAX long.
Sorry?
I hope they took your pack short and not my PAX long, because I think we
I hope
we're not in disagreement. I think you're just trading lower time frames. I had a longer term view on PAX.
Yeah, of course. It's all about in which perspective are we talking about about the direction. So
yeah. Actually, we could still both be right, because it hasn't hit my stop loss yet. So it could hit your target and then move up, and we'll both be right. But we'll see.
Oh, it still didn't hit your stop loss. Where is your stop loss?
It was like literally $3 below the low, depending on which exchange you're trading on. But
below this low.
Yeah, the low. Yeah, 465. It was really $3 away.
Wow, that was really close.
Now it's recovered. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised the evil market makers didn't target my stop loss and stop me out.
It might still come, Boris.
Yeah, I think it will.
I'm sorry, but I'm short again, and you're again long. So,
Yeah,
it's nothing personal. It's just trading.
We always hedge against each other, so it's fine.
Should we, if we hedge against each other, should we share profits?
Yeah, we'll always win. That's what Jonatan said.
I don't think so. No profit sharing. But guys, have you seen Bitcoin dominance? Because Bitcoin dominance, I don't know if you guys look at this metric, but this shows the strength of Bitcoin relative to the altcoin market. And like this 60% level, it's actually a pretty important level I've been looking at. So essentially what this means is we're getting a breakout above the, let me remove this moving average because that's not really important. We're getting a break above the 60% level, and we've been struggling to get above it since December. So this just means more capital is flowing into Bitcoin rather than altcoins right now. So that gives me, actually getting more confidence in my Bitcoin long right now. So it's another key, like, I guess, fundamental or macro metric to take a look at Bitcoin dominance, or BTC.D.
Yeah, guys, in the comment, it's not personal, completely not personal.
Yeah.
Jonatan is saying that he's out of BTC long that he was holding from the morning. It's nice. It should be a nice profit.
Yeah.
It is trying to reverse slightly, but I'm not quite sure. Here, yes, and then I think this is gonna depend a lot on the market opening reaction. And besides this, I want to check for the macro. So we have the oil stock in general. Very soon, and that's about it for today. Well, everything about the oil basically and hormones and the risks of it. So
didn't Trump say they're gonna extend the ceasefire? Or actually, I wasn't paying attention to the news. Well, what exactly did he say?
So I was talking
I
about
know you talked about it earlier, but
yeah, when I was just coming in on the stream. So he extended yesterday the ceasefire, but the funny part about it is that the deadline is today, and he extended it only one-sided. So there was no communication with Iran. So Iran technically is not obliged to continue the ceasefire, and they can bomb today, so they can start the attack on the Middle East one more time, because the ceasefire time is up. Deadline is over, and the agreement wasn't reached. But Trump is saying that he will kindly extend the ceasefire from his side, waiting for Iran to offer a good proposition in return, while US is blocking the Hormuz Strait. So it's very tight. Like it's this close from the expansion of the war again.
I feel it's just going back and forth, and like the same thing has been happening for 2 months. Like Trump says one thing, then he does another, and then I'm not a geopolitical analyst. I just, it's hard for me to believe the news headlines or Trump's tweets or even what the Iranian RGC says. I don't really believe any news outlet, to be honest. I'll just like watch the charts, and the charts will tell me the news. But what I like today is that we're actually getting quite a lot of buying and selling in both directions. Like we were looking at AgriTrade, like the past 2 days on Monday and Tuesday, and it was kind of dead. So it does look like there's more market participants today. So I feel like we're going to see a pretty violent move in one direction or another. And I'm sure there's some insider trading going on, as we all know, with Trump's family. I think they're positioning to do something.
So I can see that we got 13 likes. So if we can get 20, Jonatan might do a nice giveaway. He'll be happy when he'll be joining us. So can we get some likes, at least, let's say 17 or 20? Not asking much, but.
Yeah, guys, we do need some likes and subscribes. So if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, please hit this like and subscribe button. And because the giveaways are only starting when we have the like sharehold, so it's very low for the current moment. You guys are lucky to be here from the beginning because you are able to receive some giveaways for almost for free. But as we grow, it's not going to be the same. So use it right now to the fullest. Make sure that you hit this like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick with us on the live stream.
And we're also very close to get 400 subscribers. So I think it can be done in some days.
Yeah.
Maybe this week.
How many likes did we get yesterday? We need to beat those. We need to beat those numbers.
On average, we get 15 to 20, I guess.
We're already at the average, so I think we could easily double that by the end of the hour. Hey, Jonathan, how are you doing?
Now we will see some spam in our chat because Jonathan is here.
All right.
How is
All right,
our
what's up,
YouTube
guys?
start? YouTube start.
Oh,
doing?
it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. It got, let me see. Yeah, man, it's going good. It's like 60,000 views. It's pretty good. Oh, 64 now. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. People love that little RC truck. You know, it's driving. It's so
How
cool,
many
man.
views now?
So cool. Sorry, what?
How many views does it have now?
60,000 views.
What?
Yeah,
You said 40,000 yesterday.
yeah. So I added like 20.
It's going viral, basically.
Yeah, it's just a 7-second clip of that little RC car is driving past the camera. It's like, it's the most stupid thing in the world. I don't get it, but like the whole short thing, it's just stupid. Like it's like when I try to make shorts, I make like maybe, you know, spend an hour and research and do all of this and all of that and send it over to an editor, and it does like all editing, and it gets like a couple of thousand views. And then you have someone just pull up their phone, you're saying some random word, and it goes viral. It's weird. It's like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna if I have another video going, I don't like, maybe like I don't think it goes viral. I think viral maybe at 100K or something. But if I have another video with that result, I'm gonna reach out to the store where I bought the car and like, hey guys, you want to sponsor me? I need another one. I mean that would be pretty cool. That would be really cool. But hey, we're what are you guys doing? You been trading anything here?
I'm
in
holding.
Bitcoin long.
Yeah, go ahead.
And on the Bitcoin long, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to hit that 80 to 84,000 zone we were talking about since last week. So actually, but a large amount of risk on my Bitcoin long, about 5% actually. So I'm hoping this trade works out. Because looking at the daily chart, like there's a clear break above the $77,000 area where we failed last time.
Yeah.
And I kind of did enter this trade prematurely, but I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling that we're gonna liquidate a bunch of shorts, and we're just gonna surpass the 80K level and go to this level at around, like, let's call it the mid 80s. It just feels like the market wants to go up, and it needs to go up.
Yeah, I'm very much underwater on my short. You guys know I shorted Bitcoin yesterday. Not only did I short Bitcoin, I pretty much shorted. I think we need to put up a screen there, Roman. We have the background there. Okay, yeah, so we have some technical issues in the background. So check out our very nice graphic that we have. It says Tradeify Crypto. It says crypto funding. It's a lot of how many words do we mention crypto? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, just to make sure you guys understand that we are a crypto firm. This is us. We don't have much to look at today. There we go. We have a chart. Switch over to my chart quickly if you can.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Maybe I need to reshare it or something. Let me know. Yep. Yep. I will reshare my screen, see if that works. Anyway, you guys remember from yesterday, I shorted Bitcoin. I'm down about lots of money on that one. The only one that is actually in profit is Engine, which is ENG. You know, the one that absolutely just took off to the upside, and it looked very, very overextended to the upside, and I shorted that one. And I also shorted XLM, which I'm in a drawdown on, obviously. RSR also drawdown. Bitcoin is I'm looking at Bitcoin right now and I'm thinking I risked way too much on that one. Way too much. Feels like I should be. I'm gonna probably lose this account. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Well, it is what it is. Went in with a little bit too much risk on that one. Roman, is it only my screen that you can't show? All right. Okay. Which screen are we looking at now? I think that's Anastasiia looking at gold.
That's my screen.
That's right.
And I'm shorting gold again, shorting pucks. Just entered it like half an hour ago, one more time. So yesterday my short went pretty good, if I may say so. And today, the reason I'm shorting again is because we did pull back. We tried a V-shaped recovery, but we reached only the previous yesterday's level here that we broke. And the price was slowing down. We created the high. We tried to create the overhigh, got a reaction, broke below it, tested it again, tested the daily point of control, which is at right here at this level. And right now falling from the daily point of control down. So my opinion is that we're gonna go quite low, but depends on the situation with Hormuz, because we know that there is a deadline deadline is over today. There is quite an unstable situation between the US and so on. So we are waiting for some kind of information. I do think we can at least reach the previous lows here and maybe this area here, which was yesterday tested already. And then my next target would be below this low and 46.30 approximately.
Yeah, I looked at the at the same trade here on gold earlier. I had basically two ideas I looked at because we had this level being quite clear. So I looked at either a short here, but then or potentially go long if it broke out. But I missed the entry on that one, unfortunately. The now that I have my screen here, let me go over the trades that I'm currently in. Let's see, do we have the short here somewhere? Yeah, that's the short, right? Which is like not great. I'm this is just actually, when I think about it, this is just not a great short because I should close it, but I'm not going to. The other, there's not much to say here on this short. It's just, okay, we're at that level. Like, we're just peaking above it with not a lot of conviction here. So we might pull back at least to my entry area, but I'm just keeping this long open. I do have a few other positions. I got the ENG, this short right here. We entered yesterday. I think this one is going to go down even if Bitcoin moves up, I don't really see a reason for this to be trading where it's at. I mean, this is a dead project. It's dead. It shouldn't be trading up here. So hopefully that one will move down, because that's going to be like a 3k profit, 2.5 maybe, which means I might not lose the account. And then we got XLM, which is right at entry. So I'm hoping that it's going to pull back. Still, I kind of think it looks good. We got that RSR as well, which I'm still liking from a technical perspective. Yeah, that's right. In the comment section, they're saying we thought you risked 0.5%. Yeah, might have missed that zero. And then we have the comp trade as well, which is coming close to that entry. So I got the limit order set for that one. But everything here is based on the fact that, or based on the very weak assumption that Bitcoin might pull back. But I don't think it will. I think Bitcoin is going to go up to 80K, have a smaller pullback, and then go straight up to 85K. And I believe around 85K is where we're going to get a heavy rejection, where I'm looking to enter a big short for the like if I get a good position in, like a good sized position in at 85K, I'm happy to hold that for a long time. What do you guys thinking? Where's your invalidation point for this not to be a bear market?
Talking about the daily or weekly time frame, or which time frame are we talking about?
Well, if we're looking at Bitcoin as being in a bear market right now, where would you say we're in a bull market?
For me, I like to use the 55 EMA on the weekly as my guide. So for me, if we can get a weekly closure on Bitcoin above 86,500, I go back into bull market mode.
Yeah, no, I'm looking.
That's my line in the sand.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
And actually, that would be a great point to short, because this could be a great short opportunity. But if it can close above, then you could do the reverse play as well. You know?
Yeah, I'm looking at that like 85 to 90 as my invalidation for this, and you know we've. It's very possible for this to be just a type of relief rally, because we have, you know, Bitcoin traded down, had a very strong, lots of selling momentum to the downside, while the stock market was trading at all-time highs. And then while the stock market collapsed, Bitcoin was building a base here. And now that the stock market is back at all-time highs, I feel like Bitcoin should be trading higher, which it probably will. But I don't think this is. I feel like it would just completely break the whole structure of what we've previously seen for Bitcoin. Like, if Bitcoin is going to continue higher and perhaps break into new all-time highs, we can't view this as a bear market. Then this just becomes a 50% retrace. You know, it's just difficult to see Bitcoin having a bear market of 50% retrace while the stock market is just booming higher. It's weird.
So, did you say 60K was the bottom? Like, what was like 59.5K back in February?
I'm saying I don't think. Well, I'm saying I don't think that's the long-term bottom. And if it is the long-term bottom, I think that's gonna that changes the whole behavior of Bitcoin's bear cycles.
I personally think so. Even if we go to 86.5, it's still not a bullish market for me, because exactly at this area here, we had another previous consolidation. And if we go here, I am assuming that even if the price goes here, we might get another pullback back down from the same level. So for me personally, it's not the bullish market. For quite the opposite. If we are at 86.5, I would start preparing for shorts from this level. For me, I think it's not necessarily a price. It would be the kind of out of the ordinary event that would convince me that we are in a risk-on scenario more than anything else. If it comes to buying or not buying, I mean, you can buy it at the moment, could buy it yesterday, can buy it now, for example, because I am expecting the price to hit at least 79 and a half, maybe 80K, depending on the situation. So I'm expecting the price to go here first before the next pullback. So I don't think there is a point of waiting until the price closes specifically above some levels to consider the bullish market or not, because this is what majority of people do. And when they get in the market, it's already too late, slightly already. So I would be probably watching more for the headlines, for how the situation with US and Iran is going to be resolved or not. And then this or something outstanding happening, completely unexpected, that would push the market more onto the risk on side. Maybe not completely risk on, but more, towards the trust of people in the risk assets. So that would be, I think that would be the point where I would be buying.
Do you think the situation in Iran has the power to change this whole dynamic of being a bull market or a bear market? Because I feel like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think so, because of the prices of oil long term. Prices of oil, high prices of oil bring higher inflation at the very base. US as well, including. The higher inflation means that people have less money and spend less money than they have on hand. Less spending means that economy slows down. Economy slow down means less earnings for the companies. That means that indices by nature, without the injection of the cash inside of the economy, should go down. High risk assets, like people, when they have less money, they have less confidence, they spend less, which means they are less willing to invest in the high risk assets as well. Because during COVID, when, for example, the money was given for free, the first thing that people were doing, most of the people, they were investing in the stock market, because this is what US, a lot of people in US do. So if they have free money, they will bring it to the stock market. If they don't have free money, they're not going to bring it to the stock market. Also, less confidence means that less people are going to be using credits. Less credits means also slower economy, and the soul cycle ends back, So, of course, it's going to depend also on the new Fed president. On the 15th of May, we have inauguration. The Powell's time is up as a Fed chair. So that's going to also be depending on this, of course, as the next interest rate decision, which is going to be in July. But essentially, yes, I think, answering the question, that the situation, if it's expanded even more, has the power to affect their high-risk assets, including crypto.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I do think that the situation, especially the relationship between oil and inflation, has the power to create a bear market. But I don't think the absence of that can create a bull market, because there's a reason why Bitcoin was in a bear market before all of this, right? It was the reason why Bitcoin was in a bear market when the S&P 500 was breaking into new all-time highs. And I believe that was an early sign of deteriorating, liquidity conditions where, and I haven't done deep research on this, and I'm not really sure that, we saw the signs very clearly, but Bitcoin is always, or most of the time, the first asset to start moving when liquidity conditions are deteriorating. So even like I do think that the Iran situation might create a prolonged bear market or a recession or whatever. But if everything, like next week, let's say there's a peace, everyone's happy, everyone's good. I don't think that has the power to pull Bitcoin into a bull market, you know. But stocks are probably going to go crazy. But stocks went crazy before, so I'm thinking, you know, AI is going to drive stocks higher, but AI has no real effect on Bitcoin. So, but then the question becomes, how long are we going to see this divergence where stocks outperform Bitcoin? Because there's going to be a time when stocks pick up, right? And because the reality is, if liquidity conditions are deteriorating, if inflation might be picking up, and it's just a weird situation. I don't get it. It's weird.
I mean, yeah, I understand your questions. I understand where you're heading, you know, towards this. I don't think this alone neither can create the bull market. If turning it this way, then yeah, I think it's not enough for the bull market.
Right, and what I'm interested is also, you know, seeing. I'm just trying to understand, because to me it's very simple. When you think about liquidity and you think about the business cycle, the concept is very simple, but then you want to find signs in the economy that kind of points in a specific direction. So when you have high liquidity, you know, it's quite obvious that people buy more things that they want and not the things they need, right? But I'm trying to look for clues on, do we have signs that that's actually happening or it's switching? And the most obvious signs would obviously be looking at interest rates. And we had interest rates cuts on the horizon before the Iran war, which is not, you know, not this situation where you have deteriorating liquidity cycle, right? So if the Fed is lowering interest rates, then more money being available in circulation. But the question is for how long, because there's going to be a time when there's just too much risk in the economy. So it's a weird dynamic that's really difficult to really put your finger on, like what's happening and when is that shift happening. So I mean, if we look at the interest rate expectations for the Fed right now, some are pricing in one cut this year, I believe. I haven't looked at the numbers, but like one cut or zero cuts. Before we had like two or three cuts or something before the Iran war. So without the Iran war, we would most likely have lower interest rates, right? But then would we then have higher inflation? And how high could that inflation actually go before the Fed then says, okay, we've cut it enough? So then I'm thinking, when the new Fed chair comes into power, the Wash guy, I believe he's called, if he then lowers interest rates and they accept a inflation target of maybe 3%, we are most likely going to see this bull market for stocks continuing even higher. But then what's happening with Bitcoin? Maybe it's really difficult to kind of wrap your head around that situation, because Bitcoin is showing us the signs that no, we're in a bear market, there's less liquidity, you know, and then the stock market is just like, I don't care, you know, because the move on the S&P 500 is just absolutely insane. From the low here on the 1st of April to the high, is almost over 13% in like a straight up. one of the strongest, strongest bounces in the history of the S&P 500, I believe. So I just feel like this shouldn't be happening, which yeah.
It's even higher.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah.
17% on the lows. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy to see this happening. But I feel like I'm trying to understand. I'm thinking. So I think like lagging with our communication a bit. So you're lagging quite a lot today.
I'm just saying that could be my roommate.
I don't know if it's just me. Maybe Roman can confirm there in the background.
But I was gonna say.
Okay. Maybe you can try restarting your PC. Reconnect, yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm connected to a VPN. That's my confusion. Let me just send it.
Yeah, that's probably why. Right, so I'm gonna show you guys a chart. Let me pull this up. I'm just gonna change. So this is from a Substack from a guy called Michael Howell. He is, I believe, he's the analyst behind Cross-Border Capital. Now, this is a Substack post from 2023 when he talked about the global liquidity cycle, which is basically this chart right here. You can zoom in, you can see clearly. So what this is the GLI, which is the Global Liquidity Index in the black here. And then he has overlaid a 65-month wave, a sine wave on top of this. And you can somewhat see that it's following quite nicely here. So and this global liquidity cycle obviously aligns quite nicely with the different business cycle indicators out there, where you have a top in the global liquidity cycle. Most of the time you will also see a top in the business cycle, because it's pretty much the same thing. And you see here in the in 2023, or beginning of 2024, you have a the global liquidity cycle topping out. Now that's quite interesting. This is this newsletter is from 2023, so around where that was taken. But I'm going to show you something else. Now you can't see it, but I'm going to switch over shortly to this. Give me a minute here. Okay. Where is that one? Okay, I can't remember where I have it right now, but there's a new version of this one, where so the new version of this one, which I will try to find for tomorrow, is we are up here. It's 2026 and we are up here and we have started dropping down. So it shows us that the global liquidity cycle have topped out and we are now declining. And that happened at the exact same time as Bitcoin topped out. Actually, it has happened every single time, right? This was the 2022 bear market, part of that decline in the global liquidity cycle. And this is happening now. And I believe that's why Bitcoin dropped, because Bitcoin is very sensitive to global liquidity. And you know, I just have a very difficult time seeing this global liquidity cycle continue to the downside with Bitcoin going up. Like that's just not how it works, you know. But and the stock market should probably have been following into a bear market as well if we didn't have AI pushing everything higher, right? So I'm wondering how long can the AI narrative push the stock market higher, and does that have the power to change how we're viewing the global liquidity cycle and actually perhaps change the structure and the behavior of the cycle for a Bitcoin bear market? And if we then think about AI as the next industrial revolution, think of AI as, you know, it's just going to create a new world where we are, you know, 100 times more effective. Things are being produced at, you know, 10 or 100 times cheaper, faster. We have just more of everything, which is probably, at least short term to medium term and even maybe long term, going to create a value explosion within the stock market. And then maybe that's actually going to be cause for a shift. So I think we have to be, at least I am open to the idea that the arrows that I had drawn out here, the red ones, that's the normal Bitcoin bear market. Like if we drop down to 40 or 30K, that's going to be a normal Bitcoin bear market. That's what Bitcoin should be doing in a bear market if we follow the structure. But what if we have, you know, AI? Let's say that the new Mythos program from Anthropic is, you know, very close to AGI, and it's just going to be so powerful that companies can be much more productive. Stock market is going to explode to the upside. Global liquidity is shifting, and we might have, you know, this type of structure where instead of having, you know, these bear markets like this, we create a shallow bear market for the first time in the history of Bitcoin, and then we continue higher. So I need to kind of keep that in mind, that it is a possibility, although it's small, not very probable, but I need to keep that in mind. So the question is, what would that look like? And I think for me, we have to create a bullish structure on the weekly. So a bullish structure on the weekly for me would look like this. So that would be on the weekly. Where do we have that one? So if we see this, maybe a, you know, inverse head and shoulders like this. Wait, that's not an inverse head and shoulders, is it? How do we even do one like this? If we have this and then a breakout on Bitcoin, maybe up here to all-time highs, yeah, I'd probably be ready to say that it's the first time in the history of Bitcoin that we had only a 50% drawdown in a bear market. What do you guys think about that? I know I've been rambling on for forever now.
Jonathan, actually, you know, on TradingView, I have this all chart patterns tool. It's actually showing me that Bitcoin on the daily is in a bearish flag formation. Now, I don't know the statistical accuracy of these like bearish flag patterns, but showing me a target of 50K. If this, and we're at the top of the flag right now. So if we break down from here, like the top of the flag, say we could, maybe we reach 80,000, and then from there just descend down to 50K. and then that'll be more in line with Bitcoin's like bear cycles. Although really, I guess you're looking for more of a target at 40K, right?
Anastasia, I think
Or even lower.
we're getting some background noise from you, I believe.
Yeah. Should be solved, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the normal behavior for Bitcoin should be a move to the downside. Guys, I have a funny, a fun little giveaway.
A fun one.
Yeah.
Also, Jonathan,
yeah.
Rising Wedge. And well, I don't know this pattern. I don't believe him. I mean, I don't find them useful in crypto, in Bitcoin. But according to this, we were in a rising wedge pattern, and the downside move for the target still hasn't played out. We're looking at a target of 47K, 46K. Because we did break down from this wedge, but I don't know if this is still like applicable. I'm not an expert on rising or falling wedges. I'm curious, like, what your guys' thoughts are, because I'm not a rising or falling wedge guy.
I think
interesting to see Tradeify pick this up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you want to think about when it comes to the pattern is maybe not specifically the probability of the patterns, because it's complicated. You have to, I mean, to know the probability of a pattern like that. I know there's a lot of research, but it's mostly in the stock market. We have, I think it's Edwards and McGee, two researchers and traders who did research on the patterns in the stock market in the 90s, I believe, or maybe it was like 2005 or something like that. But a fairly long time ago, and they did it on the stock markets, and Bitcoin wasn't really around back then, but they did find trading the right way overall profitable. But so we don't really know the statistics, the probability of these patterns on Bitcoin. But what we do know is that some patterns, like the head and shoulders, for example, is just a representation of a break in market structure, and that's important. So I'd like to differentiate between patterns that actually shows something actionable and shows a break in structure, with patterns like, for example, a rising wedge, where the psychology of the participants creating the pattern is more important. So, for example, any type of wedge formation shows that you have a highly volatile market becoming more and more compressed over time. So what that shows you is that you have equilibrium between buyers and sellers at the apex, and then all of a sudden one side takes control and drives direction. So that's why I like some of the wedge formation where you can kind of see where it's almost like a Bollinger Squeeze, right? Volatility becomes very low, and then okay, the next volatility expansion might dictate the next major move. We have a question in the chat saying, do you hold spot bags? Only under my eyes, I'm afraid. Nothing in the crypto market right now. My long-term portfolio consists of the stock market, gold, and Bitcoin, and I'm currently 30% in the stock market, 15% in gold, and rest in cash. Because I'm not convinced. Bitcoin is simple. I'm not holding Bitcoin when we're in a downtrend, when in the bear market. I think in this summer I will be adding 1% each month to my Bitcoin holdings, and my target allocation for Bitcoin is 15%. So I'm never going to be holding more than 15% of my capital in Bitcoin, and then I'm going to go 15% in gold and 60% in the stock market. So no spot holdings now, and I'm not holding any other crypto spot than Bitcoin. I'm only trading rest of the market, which is going like completely shit at the moment. But you know, it is what it is. That's just trading. Let's see, how's my position looking now? Yeah, it's still pretty bad. Still pretty bad. Guys, I will be back in just a couple of minutes, okay? And when we are back, we're going to do a giveaway. Let's see. Yeah, okay, what giveaway are we going to do? Yeah, okay. What I want you guys to do is write... Okay, what do we want you to write? Just drop a 1 in the chat. Just do that's fun. It's very original. Just drop a 1 in the chat, and I'll pick randomly through all of those who have dropped a 1 in the chat. And when I'm back, we're gonna be drawing a winner of that. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
It cannot be easier than that.
Yeah.
All right.
For the honest, a giveaway couldn't be easier, guys. Oh look, now we have an activity in the chat. That's what you guys need. A simple one. Yeah, Pinky is saying in the chat that Bitcoin is safer than others and can replace many assets in the long term. I have my opinion about that. We talked about this last week as well with Stony. I don't necessarily think it's going to be Bitcoin if we are talking about the replacement of the crypto side of the many real world assets. Because realistically, the tech behind the Bitcoin, first of all, it's quite heavy. It's quite outdated compared to the crypto tech that we have right now in other tokens and currencies. Yes, it is mostly like stable, and the belief of people goes to the Bitcoin, it's the most popular, and so on and so forth. However, I don't necessarily think that this is going to be applicable anywhere in the real world, which means that it's not going to replace a lot of the things. It's looking very straight into this. It's a speculative asset. It was, it is, and it's most likely going to remain like this. The price of the Bitcoin, yes, it's ETFs now and it's part institutionalized, but realistically, it's based on the belief of people. If you take a stock market, not talking about AI at the moment, but they take a stock market, the whole idea of the price formation is that it at least is worth something. It cannot really go to zero because the company is worth something even in the worst performance, right? It's worth the work hours of people. It's worth like the buildings and stupid things like buildings where companies working and so on and so forth. So the team, equipment and so on. But if it comes to Bitcoin, it's realistically worth nothing. It's the whole price of Bitcoin and crypto. Majority of the crypto market is based on the belief. So I don't think it's gonna be a long-term replacement. Perhaps something else, yes, but I don't think it's gonna be Bitcoin. But what do you guys think about this?
I mean, to play devil's advocate, you could say, the US dollar or the euro is just based on belief as well, because what is the US dollar worth? I mean, it's just paper money. It's not backed by gold anymore. It's not backed by anything. I guess it's backed by oil in a way, but what is like the euro backed by? I don't know. So I think maybe a better comparison is compare like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to like other fiat currencies. And then, because if we look at it that way, then you could say that any currency in the world is just based on the belief of the, just the belief of the government that prints it. In this case, I do believe, Bitcoin is mostly decentralized, and it's based on the belief that, it's a private secure network and it's used for transactions, and everything can be viewed on the blockchain. So I think it has a lot of fundamental use case as well. But I think I agree with that most other cryptocurrencies are just based on belief. But I would argue that Bitcoin is, again, I'm kind of like a Bitcoin maximalist. I would argue that Bitcoin has a strong use case for the world and global society.
Ayush, and what's your opinion on that? I think you're muted.
Yeah, so I believe that crypto is something which can take over dollar in future, but we need a lot of regulations for that to normalize it. But we still have both ways doubts. We have to see that if government is actually taking it seriously or not, because it's not regulated in many countries. So I still have doubt. And also, if you look at many meme coins are not really something I believe that they're good for a long run. Only asset which I believe that's good for us is Ethereum and Bitcoin. And in chat, Future Yang123 is asking anyone likes hype for the long term. I think Boris was actually analyzing hype on yesterday's stream, I guess.
Yeah, let me pull up hype again. On the I was looking at it on the daily time frame or the weekly. I forget which. Let's see. Sorry, this is H bar. Let me pull up hype. Yeah, hype on the daily time frame. Kind of tricky here because yesterday we had a closure below the 21 EMA, which would have been a short signal for me. But today we are, along with the rest of the market, going up. So from a daily point of view, I'm kind of just neutral here. Let's see what happens here around this moving average, and then looking at the weekly. The weekly looks okay. Like we're holding the 21 or the 21 EMA here. So as long as we're above $35, I think hype has some potential here. It's definitely one of the more bullish projects, and I know a lot of people, a lot of traders use Hyperliquid, and hype is obviously the token on the Hyperliquid DEX. So I think it's probably one of the better projects out there, and it is on the weekly it's not the greatest look. Like it's not making all-time highs, but at the same time it's not like making all-time lows like the coins Jonatan mentioned earlier, like ENJ and XLM, which are just barely hanging on to their lows. So I think hype has solid long-term potential. Just looking at the weekly chart.
I just got a notification on my news app. Says Trump is saying Iran talks possible as soon as Friday. It's 9:47 a.m. I think he's on his phone.
Oh, is he tweeting now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we had just the market opening, and he needed, I think, to give some kind of updates to people as well. Because we didn't have any updates from Iranian side so far as I know. And after yesterday's comment that the ceasefire is going to be extended until he receives a deal, he needed to give some kind of comments today for the reassurance. So he's trying to win time. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, looking at the 5-minute time frame on Bitcoin, like we're going up since the open. Although this is a large upward like we just had. Let me go down to 1 minute. Yeah, definitely an uptrend on the 5-minute to 15-minute, and go look at the order flow. Definitely very positive since the open. Yeah, like pretty much since the beginning of the stream, order flow has been positive, but we are just in the beginning of the US session, and I've seen things turn around during the US session. So even though I am bullish right now, we could I've seen so many things happen that Bitcoin could be at 70K by the end of the day. or it could be at 80K. Anything can happen when you're trading, especially the crypto markets.
Yeah, that's true.
On Ethereum, price is holding the daily supply zone, but I think Bitcoin is actually still pumping up, and I think it can surpass this supply zone, and we can easily go to 80,000. I agree with Boris.
Yeah.
But we got no single pullback after the pump.
Hey, check that out. This is the last 48 hours. 67,000 views. 67. Yeah. In the last 48 hours. So literally all I did was like, I'm not even filming. That's my 8-year-old son filmed it. And people are weird. People are weird.
Can we get your son on the stream? Maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't know English.
We'll get 70,000 views.
All he knows in English is
that's okay.
Bad words and Bitcoin.
Oh,
that's enough.
Yeah.
That's all he has to say. Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Does he know how to press buy or sell buttons?
No, man. No.
You're trying to save him from this deadly career of being a trader?
Yeah, I thought about it. My stepson, he's 15, and he's gonna start doing these. When you're 15, you start like in this summer, you start working on like summer. I don't know what the hell it's called, but it's some bullshit job. And I'm like, maybe he can come work with me. I can teach him trading, and then I'm like, or he gets a normal job. It's like this stable career, and actually, a less stressful life, and then maybe he can start trading later. Because honestly, I feel like trading is nice. It's nice to know trading. It's nice to, especially when you kind of get to understand the whole effect of compounding returns and investments and all of that. And especially like when you're in trading, you kind of become a little bit more entrepreneurial as well in your way. But there's also a lot of there's also backside of trading that people don't talk a lot about. It's just a lot of stress. You need to be very disciplined. You need to be able to it's an emotional battle, and I think maybe not everyone, like I don't think everyone can become a trader, you know what I mean? Like I know maybe some of you might disagree with me and say that everyone can become a trader, but I mean I've seen stories of people that have tried to trade for like 10, 15 years, and they're just, it's not working, So for some people, I think maybe there can be better things to do, better careers to do, and treat trading more of a side hustle, than just like Pinky. Can I call you Pinky? Because you're new. It's Pink Aurora. Pink Aurora, what the hell is that type of name? Anyway, yeah, just like I say, 90% trader on XR Guru sells courses. Yeah, but you know what I mean? I'm gonna probably start selling courses. I don't care. Like I want to make money, right? Like I have knowledge. I can sell it. Like what doesn't want to make money, And then if you want to buy it, buy it. But of course, if you're in this industry and you know how to trade, you have knowledge that someone else wants, go create a course. I don't care. Sell your course. Do it. Go buy my course. Oh yeah, we're doing a giveaway. That's right. Okay, giveaway. Where's the giveaway tool? Wheel of names. Okay, so how many? We don't have like any ones in here. Okay, we have a couple of ones. let's see if we can drop them into Claude, and then I'm gonna extract all the names, and we'll be giving away an account here. If you missed the giveaway, that's on you.
Yeah, that's the easiest giveaway. It cannot get easier than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you on the courses thing. It's like, because I hear this argument a lot. People say, you know, if you're making money from trading, why are you building courses? And it's like, even for me, like, of course, why not have like a passive source of income? Because I have some negative months, and during that time, it would be nice to have some side income coming from, you know, a course or some lessons or, you know, consultations you can do with people. So I don't really understand that argument. Like,
You know,
if you have knowledge that other people don't possess, why not sell it? Yeah.
you know,
So I agree with Jonatan about this.
about this comment, that the argument that people give, like, if you are making money, why you sell courses? I'm gonna read one message that I received just today, actually, and I received this kind of messages almost like daily, like maybe every 2-3 days. So the guy is texting me. Maybe he's watching it now. Later on, I'm not sure if you're here or not, but he's texting me on private messages, and he says, "Listen, I never thought I'd ask, but please sell a course or please do more webinars, because I was about to quit the futures market. I saw your webinars and I felt again confidence and building up consistency and focus on the right things. And without knowing, you helped me getting back on track. So imagine what you did to a lot of people who were in the same or worse position. And I cannot believe that you are still not selling anything." So
Wow.
this is the reason.
nice.
Normally people should sell courses. And I do know, and I do acknowledge that a lot of traders, unfortunately, sell courses without actually knowing how to trade themselves, you know, because it's an industry where there is money. And always, if there is money, there will be people who try to make money on people and not with people. However, I do not agree with this argument that if you are making money trading, why you are selling courses. This is exactly why you should be selling courses. It's when if you are not making money with trading, you shouldn't. And the other way around, hell yeah, you should, because of people like this. And the only reason I'm
Yeah.
still not doing this is because I'm lazy, actually.
Yeah.
You're lazy, yeah. You have like and I've told you this before as well. Like you have so much potential. You can just create a course. Just create a course.
I need a producer.
Yeah.
I need someone who will tell me I need to be managed and to get some content, because otherwise I just keep trading myself and that's it.
Yeah, well, we can definitely, yeah, we'll let's talk about that offline. But I think this is it's an interesting conversation. But the problem in the trading industry is that when you're new into trading, like I can spot a course that is just not worth the value that they're asking. You know, sometimes, and I bought a lot of courses. I have bought courses for because I'm kind of like a nerd when it comes to technical analysis. So I have spent a lot of money. I remember buying one course for like 6K, and it was not worth it. It was not worth it. And then I bought the best course I have ever done in my life. It's actually a free course, and it's on YouTube. And that was from Crypto Cred. I don't know if you guys remember Crypto Cred. Like, he's an OG in the crypto space. Like, his stuff when I started, that was the best, like the best stuff, and that was free. And then I remember buying, like, I bought a course for 6K, and I bought many courses, right? I've spent a lot of money on courses, and most of them is just repurposed, repurposed content from YouTube. But then there's a few really good courses, like Trader Dante, for example, wonderful trading course, like the Edges for Ledges, absolutely fantastic. And it's like, $500 or something like that. And then crypto cred, really good stuff. That's free, completely free. And then you have the big influencers, so the course of like, 5, 6, 7K. And it's basically it's that and then repurposed, right? But I can spot a good course and a bad course because I've spent 10 years going through courses. And I've spent, maybe 25K on courses. And I must say that there's a lot of people in this industry that have figured out that selling courses is a good way to make money, right? And I gotta admit, I'm probably a better analyst than I am a trader. So my educational content is probably better than my own trading, if that makes sense. Like I've had students that are way more successful in trading than I am, So I see myself as someone who's a better analyst than I am a trader, and I'm a better educator than I am an actual trader. So I've had a lot of students that, went on to get, max funding at FTMO and made a lot of money, more money than I've ever made from prop firms, right? So, and there's no shame in admitting that, right? The way I'm trading is I'm a swing trader. So this year on my personal account, I've taken 3 trades this year on my personal broker, where I'm trading mostly the Forex market and Bitcoin. And there's no trades on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is dead. So I've taken, 3 trades in total this whole year, which has made me good money. Like I'm up 15% on the year, but still it's like, you do not have to necessarily be a fantastic trader to create a good course. You just need to know how to be a good trader, which might sound weird, but if you are a very, very skillful and like a master trader, then you're going to be busy trading. You don't have time for a course, in my opinion. Anyway, let's do the giveaway. I'm going to switch over to my screen. Man, it's 1 minute over 4. I'm just rambling on here. Okay. We don't have a lot of names. Oh, god damn it, we got Jumir here. We need to do something about that. Okay, is this going to be your lucky day? We sent you an account yesterday as well. The one we missed. Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Jumir. No, has this guy won already in the past? Anyway, Don Huge. Congrats, man. You got a 10K 2-step account. Wait, are you in the chat? Let me know if you're in the chat. All right. Dawn, is that a female name? Hopefully it is, because that would be amazing. We don't get like this industry is just dominated by like 99% male traders. So it would be awesome to support the female traders out there.
Yes, it is.
Nice, amazing. Okay, if you have your email in the description, we're gonna send you an account. Congratulations, you have a 10K 2-step account coming to your inbox in the next few hours. All right. Congratulations.
Nice.
Congrats.
What do you guys think? Do you want to do next week? You want to do a trading tournament, or you can only trade the 1 minute time frame? Anyone interested in that?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's do it.
Of course, let's do it.
Okay. Good.
What's the winner get?
The winner gets a. Yeah. Gotta think about that. I have a trophy here, but it's for another tournament.
Yeah, I want the trophy.
Okay.
Well, I do have this one, but this is the other one. Can't give that away. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a trophy. We'll do a smaller trophy.
Okay.
That should be fun. Guys, see you all tomorrow. Take care.
Hey, guys, thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much.